Doesn't matter how talented you are, if you don't have self-belief, you're not going to get anywhere.
If you just did those two things every day for the next year, you will be a dramatically different person. Holy cow, 1 year from today looking back.
So there's this governor on our lives, and it is a governor, and it's your identity. It's this internal, it's what you think you're worth.
Rise and shine, it's espresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
So let's start your day off right together. Over to you, Marisa Peer.
Doesn't matter how talented you are, if you don't have self-belief, you're not going to get anywhere. If you have extraordinary self-belief, very little talent, you can get everywhere. But if you have both, if you have talent and belief, it will actually make you unstoppable. Now, I work with a lot of football teams and a lot of football players, and a lot of those footballers come out of school at 14. They know they're going to be famous players. They don't really pursue an education. A lot of them have an extraordinary negative self-belief because they're only good at sport, which is a great shame. And one of my players at the moment has now become a fantastic commentator, but I do a lot of work with him to put in him that belief, because he wasn't great at spelling and he wasn't great at school because he knew he was going to be a footballer. So belief without talent will take you far further than talent without belief. But if you have both, you can go far. But everyone can learn self-belief.
Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Right? Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. One of the biggest reasons why entrepreneurs don't win, because you don't believe in yourself enough. It's why do I have this channel? Why is my one word believe? Look at the back of Nina's sweater. There it is, right? Believe. That's it. It's so important. There's so many, you guys are geniuses. There's so many geniuses, massively talented people out there with amazing ideas that can change the world, but you don't go off and crush it because you don't believe in yourself enough. I think the two biggest problems in the world are, one, recognizing that you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, believing that you have something in you, that you're not meant to just wake up and photocopy your life every day working for somebody else, just believing that. And two, then believing in that ability. Believing that you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, and then when you found it, believing in it enough to chase it down every day to get better, because you need to beat on your craft, because it may be something that's totally outside what is normal in your family, because it may be something way outside what is normal for your culture or your society or your community, but you have to go off and do that crazy thing. And it's really hard to believe in yourself enough to chase it down, especially when it's against what everybody around you is saying and what they believe. And so, great, yes, I need to believe in myself, amazing. How do you do it? What's the process? How do you gain self-belief? I'm going to give you two strategies that will work extremely well, can work for anybody, can work for you, because it's time that you step into your greatness. Number one, you need to eliminate the negativity in your life and replace it with belief. So think about, what are the thoughts, who are the people, what are the things around you that keep you where you are, that keep these negative patterns in your head? Is it your parents? Is it your friends? Is it the TV shows you're watching, the media you're consuming? Like, what is it that is toxic, that makes you feel small? And as much as possible, you either cut it out of your life or reduce the exposure. If it's your mom who's always on you and says you can't go be an entrepreneur, maybe you just don't talk about your career with your mom. You put boundaries up. I don't want to talk about this. There's other things that we have in common. You focus on that stuff. You lay out the ground rules. You make them respect you. And you don't talk about the things that you know is going to lead to conflict. And for other people, you may need to just completely cut them out of your life. If it's your best friend from growing up, just because you were friends in grade 4 doesn't mean you should still be friends with adults. A lot of our friendships are out of convenience. You're with people just because it's convenient to be with people, but you've grown apart and you have to recognize that. If somebody is toxic around you, you shouldn't be with them. And if you are, it's micro doses. And so you need to cut out a lot of the crap in your life. Anything that's causing negativity or self-doubt needs to be eliminated from your life as much as possible. Great, now you have a vacuum. Now you've got this hole, not as this void inside you. Great, what do? You fill it up with positivity. You fill it up with belief. My channel's a pretty good resource. I got this channel, I got the other channels, we got 3 videos plus a day coming out across my channels, that if you want more belief in your life, here's a great resource for you. But forget about me, it's not about me, it's about you. What makes you feel belief? If it's watching videos, great. If it's listening to a podcast, reading a book, doing an act of service, meditating, prayer, whatever the thing is that helps you feel belief, do that every single day. Fill yourself up with it. I inject myself with so much vitamin C belief I see belief as this injection and I put it into myself every day. I have so much of it in me that if somebody sneezes their toxicity on me, I'm not going to get sick because I've done the work, because I'm surrounded with so much belief. That's what you need for your life as well. So you're cutting out the negative people, you're cutting out the negative resources, and you're replacing them with positivity so that when somebody does sneeze, they're toxic on you, you're not going to get sick because you've taken so much belief vitamin C. So that's the first step. Eliminate those people, replace it with positivity and belief, whatever that thing is for you. Step number 2 is you got to start acting. You got to start doing things that make you believe in yourself. You got to take a challenge that you didn't think you could do and start doing it. For some people, it's as simple as not hitting the snooze button in the morning. For some of you, hitting the snooze button is the hardest thing in the world. Great, make that your goal. For the next month, you're gonna wake up every day when you say you're gonna wake up. You're gonna set your alarm and you're just gonna get up when it goes off. And you're gonna celebrate. And you're gonna start building self-belief that you're the kind of person, this is what you need to set. You're the kind of person who follows through. You set goals and you follow through. You set goals and you follow through. You set goals and you follow through. The problem is you have an identity where you don't follow through. You don't believe yourself. You say you're gonna do something, but then you know you're not going to do it. You say you're going to go off and do this big thing, but you know you're not going to do it because you don't do the little things, because you can't even wake up on time, because you let yourself down on your goals. And so you need to make sure that every time you set a goal, you follow through, you do it. You start training yourself. I'm the kind of person who sets goals and who follows through. And so it starts with what happens in the morning, right? You wake up when you say you're going to get up. What happens next? What's the next piece of your morning routine, right? And then you do that every single day. You follow through. And so you have to be very, 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 very careful about the goals that you say you're going to do. Because when you say you're going to do something, you have to follow through. When I started this whole 90-day tour, our first stop was Boston. I got in at 2 a.m. At the time, I had a goal of doing 30 minutes of cardio every day. While Nina, Danny, everybody else slept, I did my 30 minutes of cardio. It was the worst cardio of all time. I burned 0 calories on it. I should have been sleeping. But I pat myself on the back because when it's hard and you do it, that's when you build the belief. When it's easy and you do it, nobody cares. You don't care about it because it was easy. But when it's hard and you do it, when it's hard to wake up at 5 a.m. when you say you're going to because you had a rough night and you do it, that's when you build self-belief. Now, if you're doing that every day, you're only sleeping 4 hours a night every day, your life is broken, you got to fix it. But on a one-off, you have to get up. You have to do it. You have to set goals and you have to follow through. That's this 2-step process. Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. How do you build belief? 1, eliminate the negativity, replace it with positivity. 2, take on challenges, set goals for yourself, and then actually follow through on them. If you don't believe in yourself, you're never going to do great things. You're always going to have 1 foot on the gas and 1 foot on the brake at the same time. You know you're capable of more. You know you're capable of great things. You know you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, but because you don't believe in yourself, you don't chase it down. And so you live in this cycle of negativity, of knowing that you're capable of more, and frustration. And I want to unlock that. I mean, that's the whole point of all of my content and my channels. I want to unlock that. And those 2 steps, if that's you right now, will dramatically change your life. You will be, if you just did those 2 things every day for the next year, you will be a dramatically different person. Holy cow, 1 year from today, looking back, you will be a dramatically different person. The things you will have accomplished will surprise you. And I'm so pumped to cheer you on. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy, but before that, question of the day, I want to know, what is the thing that you need to do every day that you're going to put into your morning routine that will inject that vitamin C belief into you? Let me know in the comments below.
So there's this governor on our lives, and it is a governor, and it's your identity. It's this internal, it's what you think you're worth. It's what you think you deserve. And the problem for good people, see, we all know someone right now in our life, or we have, who's not ethical, who's not a good person, who's winning. And you're like, I can't believe they're getting it, right? Why can't I? I'm a good person. I treat people well. I'm honest. Here's the reason why. By the way, the unethical person, eventually karma, you reap what you sow, comes home to roost. But if you're a good person, this is so important people understand this, because it took me a long time. A good person in any endeavor will only take from it what they think they deserve, what they think they're worth. In other words, if there was a pizza here, you're a good person. You don't take all 12 pieces. Right. A good person thinks there should be an equitable distribution.
Yeah, I'm a little bigger, so I might take 7 or 8. You know,
and I would arm wrestle you for it.
You would beat me.
I don't know about that. You're a moose. But long story short, what is that a good person will not take more from the table of life than they think they're worth or they think they deserve. And so you have this governor on your identity. So what happens is it's like a thermostat. Our lives get going. We start doing really well. If we're a 75 degreer and our life gets to 85 and 90 degrees, unconsciously we go, we don't know we're doing it. we start to cool life back down to get it back to where we're comfortable. The reverse is also true. When things start to go really bad and you're broke and you're struggling, you find a way to heat your life back up to what you think you're worth and you deserve. So the way we alter our life is, sure, we got to alter our behavior and our relationships and our circumstances, but the only way it's permanent is that we alter that governor, that thermostat, and we start to believe we're worth 85 degrees of life, 95 degrees of life, 110 degrees of life. And there's ways we can alter that.
How do we alter it?
A couple different ways. One is what you just said, is that you put yourself in circumstances that are demanding of you past what you think your capacity is, and when you succeed at them, you build a new water line. You do. You throw yourself out there past where you're comfortable, and you do an 85 degrees behavior, and you knock it out of the park, and you go, your brain starts to believe it. Repetitiously, when you start doing that, you build a new line. Now you're 85 degrees. That's number one. The second way, though, is association. If you're around people, and whatever that endeavor is, if it's a sport you're in, or if it's a business, or your faith, or your peace, if you begin to associate with people who live in that space at a higher temperature than you, through association, you get heated up.
Yeah.
And so if you're an athlete, for example, you're a 70-degree athlete, and you start training all the time with 85 and 90 degrees, your identity through osmosis goes up. If you're a person who's trying to improve their faith in their life or their personal peace about them, you all know this. You've seen it. When you start to hang around people that are a little bit more peaceful than you or meditate a little bit more, through that association, over time, the thermostat changes in that area. And so it's both behaving in a certain way, and then your associations usually change.
I believe that.
And if you want more fire and espresso videos, check out the one I recently did. The link is right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.